Hey you guys, I'm back with another video. This is Save Time with Tori. Today I'm actually at my house in my yard again. I wasn't planning on going anywhere, but well, actually I'm gonna catch a movie here after this video. But like, other than that, I didn't really have any plans to do like go to the my usual parking spot at somebody's grocery store. But either way, the content will be the same. But I know it's probably been about maybe 3 or 4 days or something since I dropped a long form video. I think I dropped a few shorts a few days ago, but anyway, I'm back with another video, and today it's gonna be about quality versus quantity. If some of y'all been watching my older videos, my bottom lip doesn't have any filling in it majority of the time. Like it fades in and out, so when I enunciate my words, sometimes it gets stuck, and I got to go back and and try again. But anyway, I got a cold going on, so excuse that as well. But the point is that the video is called Quality versus Quantity, and I mean the name kind of pretty much says it all. Like it's about the good selection, not so much like the wide selection, because just because you got 100 motherfuckers trying to be in your face, that don't necessarily mean that they're of good value. That doesn't mean that they are right for you, and that doesn't mean that they are healthy for you. So just because somebody shows interest in you doesn't mean they're of quality. Like, you can be dealing with a person with like no job, unemployed, a deadbeat dad that ain't taking care of their kids, and users, players, abusers, motherfucking serial killers. Like, you don't motherfucking know. Like, just because you got 100 motherfuckers in your face, that don't mean that they're all a good choice to pick. You know they could be there for the cookies. They could just see how far they can get with you and get what they want and then disappear. So, you never know. I got my handy dandy notebook here so I can stay on track. But, or they could just be bored. People do that out of boredom too. Men, women, whoever, they, ain't got nothing better else to do. And then somebody comes walking by, or, grace themselves with their presence, and, they just want something to do and just see, I guess maybe like an ego boost, or something to pass the time, make them feel good about themselves, or just see if they still got it. I don't know, but the point is that sometimes they just need something to do, and you just happen to be a pretty face or whatever, and they just chop it up with you, and then sometimes it goes too far. A lot of times people, they intend on like being like surface level flirting, and then as the conversation goes on, and it starts to get a little bit more like personal and things like that, and then before you know it, you done built this whole like fake ass situationship, off of like one conversation. So don't get caught up in that either. They could be just passing time till they go home with their wives and things like that. So, and in your head, you're thinking, it's something serious, or they're really interested in, and they're really not. But quality man, will always approach you a certain way. Like, they're not gonna catcall you. Hey, beautiful, you looking sexy, and damn that ass fat, and like that ain't hell. No, you know what? That's a whole nother video about how men like treat women like on site when they see them like the first time, introducing things like that. We ain't going for that. Like, I mean, it's cute and all, whatever. I appreciate the compliment or whatever, but men should not lead like that, like at all. Like, I mean, maybe it's a player tactic, I don't know, but like, to me, like, that don't phase me, that don't make me turn my head, that don't like entice me in any way, shape, or form. I already know I look good. I already know, whatever the fuck you telling me. I've already heard this like 1,000 times before. So what do you bring to the table that's different from such and such? So like, you're not Like I don't like they say like women fall in love through their ears, like what they hear and what they're being told. But like I said, I figured this shit out years ago. Like, don't believe what a motherfucker say. They say anything and then they'll do something completely opposite, depending on the day, the time, the hour, and the resources. So you know what I'm saying. I don't. You can't fool me with the words anymore. If you can't back it up with actions and dollar bills, then I ain't got nothing to do with that. But anyway, quality men, they're gonna approach you way different. That they might like slightly compliment you. You have on a nice outfit. That's different than damn your ass fat, or like you sexy ma. Like I don't know, like people like use different like slang and shit depending on like what side of the world that you're in. They talk different in New York than they do in the South, and then out west they it's just however they use their pickup lines. Like that ain't it. Like it needs to be a little bit more respectable, a little bit more you know not so sexualized. It needs to be more like, I noticed you from across the room, and I would like to get to know you. Who are you? What do you do? Woo woo. Are you married? Stuff like that. Like it has to be said a certain way. But if it's just mainly about how you look and X, Y, and Z, and how they trying to have sex with you and shit like that, like no, they're doing a little bit too much. But if they're like extra pushy and stuff, like they don't give you time to like respond or like think out your own thoughts. They just start like planning shit, without you even like giving the okey doke type stuff. Like there's some bullshit right there. Men will try you, even the good ones. They'll try you like a different way, but they all gonna try you. Period. The ratchet motherfuckers, they gonna get straight to the point. They just gonna be like, basically, can I get your number? We Netflix and chilling or no? Like they gonna drive that shit home. But like a respectable man, he's gonna let you answer for yourself. Can I get your number? Is that okay with you? I would like to get to, it's like smooth versus, damn, babe, what's your Instagram? I'm trying to link up with you tonight. What's up with you? All this like dusty behavior. Like, ain't nobody about that life. Like, well, I mean, I guess motherfuckers is because kids are being born every day. But, like, when you know better, you do better. Maybe they don't know no better. But the point is that, a quality man, a high value man is going to approach you way different than, a motherfucker off the street type shit. That's just there to waste your time and just see how far he can get and how much he can get for very little of his whatever. But anyway, you know, they're going to try you either way. Even like the good ones, they might do something that they're not like sure whether or not you're gonna react or not, but they know it's not good, but they know it's not all the way bad either. It's just kind of like depending on the person, like how they take it or whatever. Like they'll test you in a more, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. They won't be as ratchet with it versus like a person who is there for the wrong reasons type stuff. Like they gon' go missing for 5 days in a row and don't call and then pop back up type shit. Like that's totally disrespectful. Like we supposed to be getting to know each other and things like that. Then why are you ghosting me? Like why are you like flirting with other bitches on social media? Like why are you like doing all this like this little stuff that that I'm not gonna be okay with? Like that's like loud and flamboyant type stuff. But and to me, that shows that you on some bullshit. You don't respect me, and you don't give a damn. Like, cause I don't like it. So why would you like? I don't motherfucking know. But anyway, like that's grounds for like exit stage left. Like I'm not putting up with like you got one time to try me type shit. But anyway, it's up to you to set the pace. Like a lot of times the men will come in like all gung ho, and they want to, some of them want to see you like every day, and they kind of run the shit into the ground. But as I said in one of my other videos, I might need to make an updated video because it's kind of one of the first few videos that I did on this channel. But basically, you're not supposed to be in a person's face every day. Like, they'll get tired of you, just kind of like eating the same food every day. Like, at some point, like, you're gonna want to switch it up to something else. So, if you're gonna run out of things to say, things to do, like, and then you're gonna need your space and your privacy at some point. So, like, if you're with this person like every waking moment, like, it gets boring after a while. So like I said, it's up to you to set the pace. Like, no more than one, maybe two, sometimes, a week dates and things like that, and just, casually date for a little while and just kind of see where it goes. Because men, they're going to rush the hell out of you, especially get your ass in their bedroom. Like, they're going to try to plan these dates to where it's like more on a private, side, to where you guys have the space and opportunity to have sex and things like that. They're gonna set the mood with the candles and the lighting and the meal, the ambiance. They're gonna lay it on thick like the love bombing and shit, and they're gonna get real close to you. They're gonna figure out where your hot spots are and things like that, and then they're gonna start trying to push your buttons, like as far as like trying to get you in the mood so you more susceptible. How do you say that word? Like success, fuck it. The point is they gonna try to do whatever they need to do to get you in the mood. So whenever they're ready to strike, you're hot and ready like a Little Caesars pizza. So like, if you don't stop the shit where it needs to be stopped, the dates need to be outside in the open in the daylight. Now on the camera didn't freeze. If you're meeting up at nighttime all the time, you a damn booty call. Yeah, I got a video on that. Go check it out. I might have changed the title by now because some of the videos I went back and adjusted the titles a little bit for the YouTube algorithm. But it should be somewhere along the lines of you're getting used, you're getting played, you goddamn, you're fucking up. But anyway, the point is, like, you meet in the daytime, in the daylights, doing things out in the open to make sure that he ain't trying to hide you. No, your camera didn't freeze. Make sure the motherfucker ain't trying to hide you from wives and girlfriends and other situationships that he got going on, things like that. So, he should be proud to take you out anyway if you're looking good, and if he, feeling you, like, it shouldn't be no issue for him to, you know what I'm saying, like, take you out in public and whatnot. But to some people, bad boys are exciting. Like, some people like get off on like men that's treating them all crazy and things. It's just trauma. He underneath it all, he loved me, and he only do this with me. He's mean to everybody else, but he ain't that mean to me. Stuff like, people just make up excuses as to why they man like doing all this fuck shit, and like, I mean, I guess some people just love the thrill of the fuckery, but I don't. I need stability. I need motherfucking security. I need to know, like, you need to be pretty much predictable. Like, I don't have time for you. One minute you in love, the next minute, you know what I'm saying, you in jail, the next minute you still sleeping with your baby mama, next minute you want me to forgive you and come back with me, and then next minute you come back with me, we arguing. Like, I ain't doing none of that. Like, that bad boy thug, cold, standoffish. Like, I need my man to be obsessed with me. Like, he need to be like living under my skin type shit. I'm not gonna let him. Let me keep this clear. Cause like I just said before, like, you can't be in a motherfucker face all the time, but he need to want to be, even though he's not going to be. It's kind of like a chase. Like, you want it, but you can't get it, but I'll give it to you when I want to give it to you. But we all still cool. We all still in love, and ain't nobody cheating on each other type shit. But point is, like, leave them bad boys where the fuck they at, because they're not gonna serve you no type of way. Quantity, just because you got 100 motherfuckers in your inbox only about probably two or three of them is even worth your time, to be honest with you. Half of them are there out of curiosity. Like I said, they're trying to see if they still a guy. They can just trying to see if they can pull, a woman of your caliber. They're just, maybe they just need Netflix and chill buddy for the night, or like, I don't motherfucking know. Everybody got their own. Maybe they're on the rebound. They just broke up with somebody and they just trying to keep their mind off of, whatever happened in the old situation. I don't know. Everybody has their own, you know what I'm saying, reasons for, doing what they do. But like 100 motherfuckers in my inbox don't really impress me too much. Only the people who's genuine and actually putting forth effort and trying to, get to know me on a different level. I mean, let's all be honest. Like, most men come to have sex with you. Like, that's their first thought. Like, that's like kind of at the top of the list. Very few of them are like trying to like get to know you for real, for real. They see something they like. You're attractive in a certain type of way. They like your physique. Your maybe your face card don't decline. Your lip gloss popping. You have long flowing hair, thick thighs, slim in the waist, and big old tick old bitties. Let's just be honest. That's what caught his attention, or whatever. Maybe it was your personality. Maybe you were so outgoing that he had to notice you, type shit. I don't know. Like, whatever it is that drew him to you, that's his first initial reaction. Now, after that, it's up to you to, draw him in with all your other qualities and things like that. But initially, men are just out to hunt and, give what the fuck they want. But, once they stick around for a while, and if you show them the things that they're trying to see, at that point, they might start falling in love with you and things like that. But, it's just getting to that point, because a lot of men lead with sex, like, it's just, I mean, I don't really think there's a whole lot you can do. I think some of them have actually, like, ain't no some of them, like the quality men, have kind of trained themselves to like cut back on the sexualized comments and compliments and things like that. And so they kind of mentally have trained themselves to approach women in a different form. But then there's other men, they don't give a fuck. They just want to see what they can get and things like that. But then you have the players that pretend to, like lead with, respectable conversations, but underneath you can kind of tell. Like, I don't know if it's just me or whatever, but I can tell when a motherfucker being fake. Like, they like trying to, like, I could tell there's a sexual undertone in there, but they've, they call themselves mastering the game to the point to where it sounds innocent, but I can see through the smoke, y'all. That's why I made this channel. Save time with Tori. I do what? I save you time from the bullshit because I can see through it through my third eye that y'all can't motherfucking see. That's it right here. But anyway, the point is, I mean, I guess if you don't know, you don't know. But, there are some players out there that might trick you into thinking, they don't want sex from you, but then in the same breath they're trying to grab on you and touch you in certain ways, and it just conflicts with what they're saying, like what they're saying versus what they're doing versus it just, the math ain't mathing. So I can spot the shit from a mile away, but it's kind of hard to like use your discernment. That's the best I can do. Like, I can't really share my gifts with y'all like that for real, but if you use your discernment, like half this stuff will, be pretty much, self-explanatory, whatever. But men will switch up on you. You know what? That's a whole nother video. But I ain't gonna tie that in this one because this one almost done. But the point is that like, don't just think you the shit just because people are like flooding your inbox or stopping you down the street or told you cute a few times. Like, you might be all of that, but like half of these men that are in your face, I mean, this can go for the the men too. Have the women in your face or switch the tables around, however you need to flip the table. But a lot of them are not meant for you. They're not good for you. You know, you just smile. You know, you take the compliment and just move along. Don't entertain that energy because it's not. Like I said, out of 100 motherfuckers that approach you, probably less than 3 or 4 of them are actually qualified to date you and actually move to the next step. And that don't even mean they're even qualified to like make it to the altar. They're just the ones that are actually, what I'm saying, you know, made it to level 1, you know what I'm saying? And then, whatever, and then you work your way up the ranks, and then after a while, even though 3 or 4 motherfuckers that actually made the cut, eventually some of them are gonna fall off, and then you're gonna be down to 1 or 2. And then there's a possibility they all could fall off. Could none of them, make the cut. And you might have to just start all the way over from scratch with 100 new people. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like, just don't be giving up pussy too quick because, like I said, like these men will switch up on you real motherfucking fast. But anyway, that's my video for today. I'm about to go and catch this movie. They actually got the Lord of the Rings trilogy going on here, where they're gonna play like all 3 movies like back to back. So I'm gonna probably be there all damn day, pretty much. But yeah. Well, I mean, y'all can take what you want from this video, but like I said, like just try to pick the best one and not necessarily like get too caught up in how many people are chasing you. Sometimes it's a good thing. Like you don't have a whole lot of people in your face. That means, they might be scared to approach you because they already know they ain't got what it takes to, even date you or anything. But like I said, you do have the ones that are bold enough to just to see if you're weak enough or desperate enough to, fall for the bullshit and things like that. But anyway, this is Save Time with Tori. This video, this channel, this my whole goddamn face and existence on this YouTube channel is to do what? I save you time from the bullshit. Okay, bye.